On a proposed cell tower called Creekside on a town-owned parcel, and we had a workshop presentation at 6:30 by the Verizon crew here in the front, and certainly their packet that they presented is, I think, on our website now to be downloaded and accessed by anybody that would like to see it. I also want to make sure everybody knows that there is no town board vote being done tonight about anything about this proposed cell tower. I don't want to be redundant to what I said at the end of the workshop. The town board will take in the information that was done at the workshop presentation, things that are presented by the public at the public hearing, and we will go back, and I don't know. I don't know if in 2 weeks we will come with a resolution or a series of resolutions on this, or if it'll be longer than that. The only thing I can tell you is that there is no voting on anything tonight. This is the public hearing for the town board and the public as a whole, because it's taped for posterity, to hear comments for the public. So with that in mind, I am going to open the public hearing. We have two people from the public who have signed in to speak, and the first one is Teresa, I hope I say this correctly, Zawacki Chapman.
Oh, Zawacki.
Wait a minute. Are you related to Mike?
That's my brother.
How did I get that spelling? Don't tell Mike I said Zawacki. You know what? I don't need him on my bad side.
I don't think so.
Yep. So jump right up there, Teresa.
Okay. All right. Well, good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Teresa Zawacki Chapman. I am a mom of a first grader at Clem North Elementary School, a graduate of Webster High School, Schrader, when there was only one. I'm from a family who has lived in this community for close to 60 years. My husband, son, and I live just 2 houses away from the parcel proposed cell phone tower site. I'm here tonight not only for myself, but on behalf of my family, my neighbors, many of whom share serious concerns about this tower being placed in our residential neighborhood. First and foremost, we are concerned about health impacts. Within a stone's throw where this tower is slated to be, there are 15 kids under the age of 15, not to mention grandkids and other younger family members. Whilst the science around long-term exposure to radio frequency radiation is still evolving, there is enough uncertainty that many communities, especially those with young families, are choosing caution. I'm a recent cancer survivor, still going through active treatment, and the idea of this in my backyard terrifies me. Simply put, we do not want to be a test case for whether living next to a tower causes harm over decades. Beyond health, there's a significant concern about property values. Studies and real estate experts have shown that a proximity to a cell phone tower can reduce home values by 5 to 20%. That affects us not just today, but also the future ability to sell our homes and build generational security. We're also worried about the aesthetic and environmental impact. Our neighborhood has a certain character. It's Mill Creek, it's the woods, it's beautiful. It's quiet, it's green, it's residential. A cell tower changes that dramatically. We're looking at industrial equipment instead of trees and sky. Some towers require tree clearing, and that can impact our local wildlife as well. We also ask that you consider noise and safety. Many towers include generators, which may run during outages and emit mechanical noise. Towers are not without risk, whether it's wind damage, equipment failure, or being an attractive hazard to kids or teenagers, curious ones. Lastly, we feel strongly that other options could be explored. Could the town consider a more appropriate commercial or industrial location, perhaps around the Xerox abandoned area? A rooftop installation in a non-residential area? These are solutions that balance the coverage needs with community preservation. We're not against progress, we're not anti-technology, but we do ask for thoughtful, community-centered decision-making. Please do not allow this tower to go forward without deeper exploration and transparent dialogue with the residents it directly impacts. Thank you.
Teresa, thank you. Well said. Okay, next up, and actually our last person from the public who has signed in on this is David Remington.
Good evening. My name is David Remington, and I live at 1214 Creekside Trail, directly across from the proposed location of the cell tower, about 100 yards away from it. My neighbor across the street would be 100 feet from it, and our family would be looking at this out our front windows. I live probably 3 houses down from Teresa. And I pretty much have the same concerns as Teresa. My first concern is safety. Many teenage kids go back there to play, and I'm just curious what would happen if they climbed this tower. We've called the police many times. We've lived there for 11 years about kids partying back there so often that they finally put up a chain gate to keep people from going down there. It has stopped the cars from going down there, but many kids still go down there to play. And God forbid one of them climbs it and falls or seriously, gets hurt or worse. We just feel that would be an eyesore, as Teresa said. The reason we bought this house was because it just looks like a beautiful park setting, and I think that this tower would be an eyesore. And I also agree that our property value would decrease. Just not our house, but the entire neighborhood and everyone in the surrounding area. I'm curious as why we need another tower. If you go on antennasearch.com, it says there are 39 towers with 154 antennas in a 3-mile radius of Walmart in Webster. Do we need another tower when we already have so many towers? And if so, can it be located on a commercial property like Teresa said, or in a large open space not near a residential area like Xerox or at Webster Park? I think there's a concern about people on Lake Road have no reception. Could it be put at Webster Park? And then finally, I also have health concerns, and studies have shown that wildlife are more sensitive to radiation than humans. Salmon go up Mill Creek, which would be right near this tower, and they go up there to spawn. And once they spawn, the salmon go out into Lake Ontario, and I feel that would greatly affect the salmon population in Lake Ontario. We've watched them go up this creek for years, and it's quite a sight. And last but not least, there have been numerous studies on humans with conclusive evidence of radiation, sickness, cancer, and biochemical changes. Thank you for the opportunity to share my thoughts, and there has to be a better solution.
Thank you, David.
My name is Christine Remington, and I am David Remington's wife. We are at 1214 Creekside Trail. And I know I was not on the original docket or sign-up sheet, but I just appreciated, after hearing a couple of minutes, I just had a couple additional thoughts I wanted to share, so thank you guys for a couple of minutes. So while I do appreciate, and I did learn from a business standpoint, I can certainly understand why Verizon may see this site as advantageous or a convenient spot. From a business standpoint and additional cell coverage, I can appreciate and understand that may be a great spot. However, living there for over 10 years, knowing the families in that area, knowing the impact, the kids that have grown up in that area, this could have a tremendous impact, negative impact on all of us in that area, including all of the children that run around the street, that play, are kids that are just having a great time. I wanted to add that with the structure of this potentially being built, it would, I would imagine, cause increased traffic from trucks or maintenance folks or whomever to check on the status of it. If there's outages, if they need to check on it. I would imagine the traffic flow going down this very quiet neighborhood would increase tremendously. It's a very quiet neighborhood, and I don't know. I live directly across the street from, we call it the service road. I don't know what the exact town wording is, what the name of it is. I live directly across from that, so I have noticed actually an increase in traffic, and I now understand it's probably site visits. It's probably been folks checking out to see, is this an appropriate site? And that is concerning to me, seeing the number of vehicles going down there. And then from a safety standpoint of, I don't exactly understand the technical term of the height of where the RF waves will go, but they're at a certain height because they can't be lower, is perhaps my understanding. Maybe from a safety standpoint, they can't be lower. And perhaps I don't have that correct, but that is concerning to me that it is that close, that we will see this beautiful treed park-like setting. Perhaps trees may get cut down. I was not clear on the exact proximity, but that would also go closer to this creek that Dave had mentioned, where there's all kinds of wildlife in there. So if whatever these RF waves are, or anything else that could expose this creek or anything else in the surrounding area, that is also another concern. So if a site visit has not been done from the Verizon team and or anybody on the board that is contemplating or considering this proposal, I beg you to look at this area, to look at the impact that this could have, and would you want this in your front yard, your backyard, your side yard, whatever. So I thank you for a couple minutes.
Thank you very much. Hey, the people over in your neighborhood, do you guys have an internal clock that you all speak in about 3 minutes and 10 seconds? It's uncanny.
Well, I was trying to keep it under the 2 minutes.
You did fantastic.
Apparently I went over.
No, you have
No,
up
you
to
had
5 minutes. No, you.
5 minutes.
Yeah, you did it at 3 minutes and 17 seconds when I hit the timer, and that's, you know, look at that. Yeah. Teresa, you getting back up there?
If okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I get 8 because you only use 3.
I knew that was coming, right? You don't have a bank, by the way, that you can transfer.
You know my brother.
I know. Well, you know what? If Mike came in there, I'd give him more time because, you know,
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Thank you for the Verizon team for sharing this extra bit of information for me. And as I was looking at it, you know, interestingly enough, I found out about this from Michelle, who lives a few houses down from us, you know, a couple weeks ago, and it was like, wow. And thinking about it, of where it is, and looking at it on this map, it's like, wow. Okay, so this is the proposed site, right? This is my house. This is my house. It's my yard. Okay, it's my yard. This is where my 6-year-old, my husband and I go into the backyard where we hike, where we fish in Mill Creek to catch those salmon that, who knows what can happen. We have deer that are beautiful and nest in that area. And I'm just curious, because when we bought this house, and one of the things about Webster that is beautiful is the parks in these areas. We're booming. We know there's neighborhoods going up left and right. But I thought like this area, and I don't know if this is a question for the town board, but do forever wild areas in our town still exist? Because it was to my understanding that, and I know there's a water treatment plant, there's a water treatment plant, and we do have a lot of traffic, and this is going to be significant. And I kind of like where I lived because I can know that Nathaniel is safe in our cul-de-sac going on his what we call scootaloots, a scooter. But this is literally in our backyard. And the area this is going into, this is a beautiful area. And I'm inviting all of you in this town board, because again, I'm right here, this little area here. Come to my house. I'll make coffee if you want a glass of wine, if you just want water, sparkling water, whatever, grill, whatever. Come sit on my patio in the back. I want you to come see the area. We can walk down. You can take a look at it. But it's my understanding this area was to be forever wild. And if we can think about that as a town, in our community, we can still conserve some of these areas that are forever wild and that are homes to not just us, but to so many other things, so many creatures, so many things. I'm really happy that I came tonight. I'm going to continue to educate myself on more information and to study on this, and I will be back to be able to speak. I will talk with our community, our neighbors that are also on this map a little bit more. But yeah, thank you for the time. Thank you for sharing this, and I'll be back with more questions. But the invite is welcome for the board to come on over to the Zwacky Chapman House, 1219 Scenic Circle.
Thank you, Teresa.